Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Becca. Welcome to my technically first live, I guess. I used to go live all the time a few years ago. Want to see if we can try maybe doing it again. I have a craft show coming up, not this weekend, but the weekend of the 28th. And I have a lot of inventory that I need to make. At my last craft show, I pretty much sold out of a lot of my inventory. So I need to definitely make more inventory. Let me grab my inventory sheet. Hold on. Okay. I know. I should have been more prepared. I'm sorry. Okay. So I do know that I need to make a lot more chickens. Right now, I'm working on miniature octos. And I'm going to turn some of them into keychains. So I do have some of these already made. I am working on more. I do typically make the larger octos. And the larger octos are these ones here. So you can see the difference in, the head shape is pretty much the same, but the tentacles are a lot longer. And then I don't think I have any nuggets in here that I need to tag. So I do need to still put the combs and the beaks on a lot of my chicken nuggets. They're miniature versions of these, and we call them chicken nuggets because they're about half the size. Hi, Deborah. How are you? I know it's been a while. I apologize. I did, however, make a couple possums. I haven't made these guys in a while. I think I may end up changing the tail on some of these, but I did make 2 of them. So I have two possums ready to go. They just need tags. They do have, this one's got green eyes, and this one's got blue eyes. So I did end up running out of the gray yarn, and I'm almost out of the white yarn. So you had a back infusion? Oh, well, I hope you're starting to feel better. Thank you. I do need to make some more loaf cats. And scrunchies are pretty well set. I do want to try to find a good ghost pattern to make some more ghosts, because the ones I have are super, super tiny, and I'd like to make some bigger ones. But as of right now, I need to work with what I have. Money's kind of tight, like everywhere else. So I'm just trying to use up what yarn I have, and then money that I make from the craft shows will go back into buying more yarn. So yeah, I thought we could. So I've got some crocheting that I can do. I also have tagging that I need to do. I do have my tags right here. I do make my own tags. I don't just use like store-bought tags. What I do to make my tags is I take scrapbook paper and I kind of cut them up into two different sizes. Let me see if I can find, there's a smaller one. So I cut them up into two sizes, and these ones will be used for like the smaller ones, like my octos, the chicken nuggets, maybe the ghosts, just some of the smaller items. And then these will be for the bigger items that I have. But I use scrapbook paper. I cut them to size. I use a hole punch for the middle. And then I just use labels, price tag labels for where I put the price. And then I used to use like cardstock, and I would stick the cardstock to the back, but then I just ended up using the scrapbook paper and folding it in half. So I do have some tagging that I need to do because that bag that I was sorting through has a bunch of items that don't have price tags. And so, yeah, that is pretty much what is on my agenda today. I also later am going through a lot of my diamond paintings that I did way back. Do you go to craft? Yes, I do go to the craft shows. My mother-in-law and myself are vendors at craft shows. We share a booth. So all of my items are sold at the craft shows. And she's kind of showing me the ropes in a way, but is allowing me to learn like how to price my items, how to see what sells, what doesn't sell, what I need to make more of, what I don't need to make more of, and stuff like that. So get my feet wet. And so she allows me to use her booth rent free, and whatever I make is profit for me. But I do also help her in return. You know, I help her tear down, I help her sell, I help her. Most times I will help her set up. But if it's on a day where I got to work, she'll set up and then I'll help her when I get out of work as far as like the selling aspect of it. But yeah, life has been crazy to say the least. Lily, hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Come see mama. Lily. Hey, there's nobody here, baby. Hi. So we still got puppers. She is going to be 2 in October. So next month she'll be turning 2. And she definitely keeps us busy. She's a handful, but we love her. And we couldn't see our lives without her. Um, she definitely, we used to go out and eat out a lot, at like sit down restaurants, things of that nature. Um, and so she's kind of grounded us in a way that we don't necessarily spend as much money as we used to. Yes, we still are spending more money because she has a lot of health problems. She's got allergies. So for a while, it was like every other month we were in the vet's office with ear infections and just a whole lot of problems from the start. When we got her, she had worms, which we were told she was dewormed. She was severely underweight, and I was literally pulling like dark black gunk out of her ears. So she was not well taken care of at her old home. So I'm very, very glad that we got her. It's just it's been a really rough road trying to figure out everything. Now that we have a lot of her issues figured out, um, it's going a lot smoother. Um, we make her own. We're pretty much making her dog food now. So we portion out a percentage of kibble, and then we make our own kind of blend of dog food that has brown rice in it, peas, carrots, sweet potato, and hamburger. And we batch make that, and then we portion out a certain amount of the homemade food with her kibble, and it seems to alleviate a lot of her allergies. But the main allergy is outside. She is allergic to grass. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. So yeah, we did allergy test her on our own. We bought a kit online, sent it in, and found out she's allergic to quite a bit of stuff. Now, how accurate it really is, we're not sure. Um, but we're thinking it at least gave us a base point, because a lot of the stuff that she was supposedly allergic to, according to the list that we got, we eliminated, and it seems to make somewhat of a difference. Now, we do have to keep her on allergy medication during the summer, just because of the grass and everything. So we do an allergy pill as needed. We don't give it to her on a daily basis. It's only when she needs it. But she seems to be doing a lot better. She does like the fact that I do work from home. So my regular 9 to 5 job, um, I am able to work from home. So that makes it a lot easier for me to kind of keep an eye on her and whatnot. But a majority of the time, she is sleeping behind me. So every once in a while, I got to make sure that she's not snoring too loud, because man, does this dog snore. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, she is part Labrador Retriever, part Red Setter. But yeah, right now we are currently dealing with a mouse problem as well, which we never had in the past. Well, I did. So I worked at a sleep lab at my local hospital for a while. Now I'm back in registration, and the department that I am in all worked remotely. So I now get to work from home. Um, and so it's a lot better because I'm not spending as much money eating out. I'm not having to travel in the winter, which is a blessing, because this road is horrendous in the wintertime. They don't necessarily plow this road first. Nor do they see that it needs to be a rush to come out as far as we live. So there are times where I would have to leave for work and the roads would not be plowed. You couldn't see where the edge of the road was, and it was just a hot mess. Um, so but yeah, now I have a little bit more time to sit and crochet and get things ready for shows. Like I said, I pretty much crochet before work, on my break, and a little bit after work. And so I've got a good amount of inventory built up now. But I was pretty low a couple of weeks ago. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty worried about how much inventory I had. Um, but I think right now my main focus is just gonna be on little items, and then worry about making one-offs, bigger items once I get my inventory to where I want it. So we shall see how everything goes. You know what? I didn't even put my eyes on. Might want to do that. So for these mini octos, I am using 8mm safety eyes. And they seem to be the right size for the size of the plushie. I don't do anything really fancy to secure them. I just use the backs that it comes with. Every once in a while, depending on the secureness of the backing, if I feel like it's not secure enough, I will take a lighter and I will melt the tips and kind of squish them down so that they can't come out very easy. But these ones here seem to hold really super well. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2. Get in there. There we go. So there's what the eyes look like. And then I just turn it inside out and I secure them with the little backs that they come with. And these ones are quite tough to even remotely secure, so I'm not worried about them coming off at any point. Ow. Yeah. And then when you flip it inside out, you can see that the backs are secure. they're not going to come off. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been rough the last couple of months, but we're we're dealing with it the best we can. 6, 7, 8, 13, 14. Okay. Also, I'm not finding myself as sick as I used to or missing as many days as I used to. Um, because I'm working from home. I'm not eating out. I'm eating a little bit healthier. Um, and just kind of overall in a better atmosphere. Um, so, but my dream job still would be to have my own small little business making crocheted items and selling them. Um, so I'm hoping maybe one day that can be something that happens, but for right now, it just is not feasible. I don't have a large following. I don't really have my name out there per se. So, oh, he is doing, I wouldn't, well, yeah, he's doing good. Um, he is 11, so he's starting to go through some changes and finding out he's pushing his buttons. We'll say that. He's pushing his boundaries, seeing how far he can get with who he can get. Um but for the most part he seems to be doing okay. Yeah, 11. I know. It's crazy. Okay. It is crazy. So, um, we also are working on slowly introducing 3D printed items with our crocheted items at craft shows. We acquired a 3D printer. So we've been making some 3D printed items. So we'll see kind of how that turns out. I also started making air dried clay magnets. So we'll see how those sell. Um, oh, and as I was saying earlier, last night I went through all of my finished diamond paintings and I separated them into two different piles. One is ones that I either want to keep for sentimental reasons or ones that I'm going to hang up, and ones that I just did for the fun of it. Doesn't have any real sentimental value. I'm not going to hang it, anything like that. And I will be posting them to Marketplace to try and get some income back from those. So we'll see how things go at that point. So, in case you're just tuning in, I am working on some mini octos. I am using the Loops and Threads skinny chenille yarn. This is a variegated white and black yarn. Very soft. Not really supposed to be using it, but you know what? We do what we need to do to make people happy. um, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have found that as long as I'm not using this yarn for completely hours and hours at a time, I seem to be fine. Now, with that being said, I do tend to still itch a little bit, but I'm not breaking out into hives like I was. However, if I use the polyfill to stuff the animals with, then that does make me break out in hives. So I think it depends on the type of polyester as to what type of reaction I have to it, which is why I started using the polyester yarn again. So I still use the cotton. Is it cotton or wool? I think it might be wool. I can't remember, but it's stuffing that I buy specifically off Amazon in bulk. Yeah, I want to say it's wool because I think it's the same stuff that you can use to I tried that, Deborah, and um, it didn't work. I couldn't feel where the stitches were. I couldn't really function as well, and it made it slower to make the projects. So eventually I gave up with wearing the gloves, and like I said, the yarn itself seems to be doing really well with my body. So I think it's just the type of yarn, um, or the type of polyester. 5, 6, 10. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, so yeah, I don't think I will have as many bigger octos as I normally do for a craft show. It would have been a big help as far as saving money because the stuffing I buy is quite expensive. Also, I have to pay for shipping, which isn't ideal either. But I you got to do what you got to do to get it done, and it works. So I'm not straying from what works. And a lot of my bigger items that I make, if they're too large to where it's going to use a large amount, I will ask the mother in law to stuff it with fiberfill. Because I can handle once it's stuffed and sewn shut. Um, and so I had her buy a big box of polyfill and keep it at her house for when I need her to stuff something, and she'll use that instead of her supply. Um, so okay, this one. But yeah, it would have been a really big help if I could have, or if I could just use the regular polyfill because I can buy it right at my local Walmart. Um, Thank you for stopping by, Deborah. I appreciate it. You have always been a number one supporter, Deborah, and I appreciate that. So this here is pretty much what I use for stuffing. It comes in a 1 pound bag and a 4 pound bag, and I buy it in bulk. And I tend to just kind of fluff it out a little bit before I put it into the stuffy. And it seems to work really well. Now it's not as airy as polyfill, so it's a little stiffer of a plushie, but I still have a ton of people that purchase my crocheted items. Um, I'm also working on some knitted hats. I've been knitting some hats, so I'll have those to sell this winter. Um, so just different things that I'm trying to work on. And like I said, I'm doing some air dried clay magnets. Um, and we got some 3D printed stuff in the works. So Now, not all of my items get tagged because some of my items have um, displays that go with them. And so they have a tag that goes either on or near the display with the price of what it is. So I don't need to price out all of my items, just some of the ones that are a little bit bigger and could potentially go other places on the table than just their display. So okay, there's one, two, three. So what I might do with the mini octos is have a sign that says, mini octos, this price. And then if you want to turn it into a keychain, I will have supplies there to put the keychain on it. And, um, they can have their option to upgrade their octo to a keychain. So, um, yeah, well, we'll see. This is the first year I'm making these like tinier ones, just because they're a lot quicker, and I don't have time to make the bigger ones in a week. So the show that I'm getting ready for is a balloon festival that we have every year. Um, a lot of people around the states, different states, and all of that with hot air balloons will come up and they fly their hot air balloons. There's different activities that go on, and they give hot air balloon rides, things of that nature. So it's kind of a fun event to go to. At night, they do a night glow where they won't lift off the ground, but at dusk, when it gets dark, they will use the flame to light up the inside of their balloon, and it's pretty neat. Pretty neat. I definitely enjoy it. It's a fun event. There's different crafters and vendors that go to that show as well. So it's a fun time to get out. Let's see. I don't even know like how many of these guys I actually have made so far. So for those of you just coming in, these are the small ones that I'm making. They're pretty tiny enough to put a keychain on. These are the larger ones that I make. So you can definitely see the difference. Let's see. I have put a couple already on keychains. So this is one made out of acrylic yarn. Another one in acrylic yarn. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 of them made so far. I think I'll do probably 4 more. Have 10 of them, just because I don't know how they're going to sell. But I think I want to see what I have for yarn. And see what kind of other colors we can potentially make. That's for the potato. I've already made pink. I don't think white is going to look good. Oh, we could use this blue. It's pretty soft. It's a little bit bigger yarn thickness than what I was using, but that's an option. That's a little bit thinner. I think I might make a couple out of this one. Gray. Yeah, that's not really soft enough. I don't like that. I don't think that would be enough. I have a feeling I would be playing Yarn Chicken, but I could potentially do this color because I have enough of it. I probably have enough to do an orange. Could probably do a dark pink. And I think I want to save the red for the combs on the chickens. I don't think I have another green. I do have that gray. I don't have enough of this color. I know that. It would have been nice though. So I think for now, I have a few colors that I can work with. I don't need pink. Do I want to use this one? No, I don't think that one's going to make a good one. Let's put this color away. I should make one more in this color, and I may, but not right now. So we have blue. Did I just see teal a second ago? It was a different color. Okay. So I think for now I have a little bit of range of colors to work with. So what we're gonna do, let's move this to the side, and let's see. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna have enough of this color. All right, let's see. That's a full skein, so I don't want to use that quite yet. Let's try this one, see if we have enough. To get a full one. We'll see. I'm not... Let's just see. One thing I don't like about this yarn is it's so hard to close up the magic ring. Like I did see something the other day. If you take let's see if this works. Supposedly, if you take regular yarn and get the magic loop started, and then put this yarn through it, one, two, three, four, 6, 7, 8. Then you can pull on that. And you have your magic loop created. That actually worked really well. So let's take and tie that off. Cut it. And it's going to be on the inside, so nobody's going to see it. So that's good. All right. Let's see. Let's see if we're going to play yarn chicken. So I've got this amount as well as this skein here that's kind of partially used from a scrunchie. So I doubt it's going to make a full octo. We're going to give it a try though. So I am kind of able to still see the green a little bit, but I think it should be okay. You should be okay. I just realized too that this yarn is thicker than the ones that I was using, so I don't think the 8mm safety eyes are going to be big enough. Yeah, I don't think so. I will stop here though and maybe work and pick up on this a little bit later, but for right now, I think that's just going to be too big. I'm going to stick with these two colors here. Yeah, so we didn't get as much done as I thought I was going to. But I think once I build a following and people enjoy coming in and chatting and watching and enjoying my journey doing craft shows, we'll go a little bit longer and have a little bit more fun. But for now, I am going to get some things accomplished around the house and work on more crocheted items, I guess. So I will talk to you all next time. Leave a comment on this video of anything that you want to see me make. If you have any suggestions on what sells, what doesn't sell, I would love to hear it. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.